Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing and also doing 3 looks with this eyeshadow palette right here. And it is the Lauren Conrad, the limited edition eyeshadow palette. First of all, this palette retails for $39. It says right there, $39. I bought it at Kohls. I do not know if there's another website that carries it, but I do know that Kohls does carry it because they do have the Lauren Conrad collection. It shows on the outside right here, there's like a sticker with the eyeshadow colors. On the back it says, all eyes on you. Decorate your eyes with this limited edition Lauren Conrad Beauty eyeshadow palette with shades in satin matte shimmer that go on smooth, soft, and won't crease or cake. Also, it says on the bottom that it's cruelty free, it's recyclable, it says clean beauty, ethically sourced mica, safe for contact lens wearers, ophthalmologist and dermatologist tested. So I do believe that her brand, it's supposed to be a clean brand. I'm not exactly sure what clean means, but I know that that is like a trending topic. Okay, so I love the packaging. It's so her. Just like think of Lauren Conrad and I think delicate, like girly delicate. And that's what her collection is like, her clothing collection. And I usually really like her stuff on her collection. So you can see a close up right here. It's like a beige, sort of like very natural looking paper. And then it has this grosgrain ribbon that is not actually a ribbon there. It has the texture of grosgrain ribbon, and it also has like even more texture on the little bow, which is also like just part of the paper. So on the inside we have the actual palette, which also is embossed. Like on the ribbon it is embossed. It says Lauren Conrad on it. It is very natural looking and pretty. It's like a soft peachy pink sort of, and then like a pink bow, like a very soft pink. On the back it has the names of the eyeshadows, because on the actual pans it does not say, like on the actual palette itself it does not say the names. Now it does bring like a little protective cover, just like every other eyeshadow palette. The way you open it up is like a wallet, sort of like a wallet. It has like magnetized closure, and this is the actual eyeshadow palette. As you can see, it is a very natural looking eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be doing 3 looks with this. I think that it is one of, like, just looking at the shadows, I feel like it reminds me of one of the KKW beauty palettes. I'm gonna see if I can find I'm gonna see if I can find some pictures so I can put it right there, but it does remind me of the KKW beauty eyeshadow palette. Now the thing that attracted me the most when I saw it online was like that it's neutrals, but it also has like that yellow. Now when I opened the palette, that is actually not just a yellow, that is actually a gold. So it's not necessarily like a yellow, like soft yellow color, it's gold. So that I wasn't too happy about that. I wasn't too happy about it, but it makes sense. Like once I look at the palette, it makes sense because the top row is all shimmers and the bottoms are all mattes. I'm gonna swatch them now, and I'm gonna write down the names of the colors while I swatch them. Okay, so here we have the top row. Okay, so here we have the bottom row, and these are all mattes. Okay, so they do feel soft to the touch, which is good. And now I am going to start doing some looks with them. So it does not have a mirror at all. I feel that for this price of $39, it should have a mirror. And yeah, and I also would have liked the names of the colors actually printed underneath the colors instead of like on the outside, because then it's easier to reference them. If not, then you have to kind of keep turning around to look at the names. I mean, not that names matter all that much, you know, except for like when you're following a tutorial. But other than that, like I don't feel that names really matter all that much. Just for reference. They're just for reference. Alrighty, let me get started then. Okay, so on my eyes, I already have liquid liner on the top. So I'm gonna start out with clay. And clay is this shade right here. I think I'm just gonna tell you the names. Okay, so has a little bit of fallout. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'm gonna use that on my crease. Can you see it actually showed up? I'm gonna try to do close-ups of this. But it actually shows. Okay, now I'm gonna grab the one next to it, which is brick, and it's more like it's a reddish brown, very like terracotta, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be using that on my outer crease and my outer lid, just to deepen that area right there. You can't tap them. You kind of have to swipe the brush just a little bit on the pan so that it doesn't stir up a lot of powder. Ooh, yeah. And this is me tapping it. These are pigmented. Ooh, yeah, they're pigmented. Did you see that? And I tapped it. Oh my gosh, yeah. This one's a lot more pigmented than this one, so let me just add a little bit more to this side. Look at that. Whoa. So I am going to grab another brush. And hopefully this brush right here doesn't give me any problems. But I'm gonna grab another brush that's not dipped in any of this, and I'm just gonna blend, okay? So I am going to blend that top edge right there so that just diffuse it, just to diffuse it. I'm not blending, I'm diffusing. So now I'm gonna be using Buttermilk, and Buttermilk is that beigey matte shade in the corner, and I'm gonna be using that right here, right underneath my eyebrow. Okay, so now I'm gonna use ginger, and ginger is nothing like ginger. Actually is like a shimmery brown, and I'm gonna be using that on my lid. And at first I'm gonna use it just with this, just with a brush, but then I am going to go ahead and do it with my finger, because I feel like shimmers in general, doesn't matter what palette, look best swiping it on with the finger. Now it doesn't look bad at all doing it with the brush, but I think that it's gonna look better once I do it with my finger. So that's what I'm doing. It looks like this. So you see it's like a brownish shade, very coppery. It reminds reminds you of the color of the fox from Fox and the Hound. This is so pretty. Like, these shadows are really nice. I really like them. I feel like they are blending well. They're blending well. The fallout is minimal. They're not actually, there's no fallout like underneath, like on my cheek or anything. As long as you tap it, I think you'll be fine with the fallout. All right, now I'm going to grab Brick, which is the same one I used like on the top. I'm gonna be using that same shade to line my lower lash line. I am lightly touching the color right there, just because I feel like if I touch it harder, it's gonna leave like a big brown spot. I don't want that. Okay, now I'm gonna add some mascara. I'm using the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. I'll be back. Okay, so that's the end of look number 1. So now let's go on to look number 2. Okay, so for look number 2, I'm gonna start out with nutmeg. I'm gonna be adding nutmeg right here to my crease, and also I'm gonna add it to my lid. I'm adding it everywhere. It's very much like sort of like a mauve nude. That's what nutmeg is, like a mauve nude. Now I am going to grab the plum color, the plum shimmer, which is called Sugar Plum. I am going to also add it to my outer crease. So I'm adding it to my outer crease and my outer lid. And I'm trying not to grab more as I get closer to the center, because I want to keep the darkest on the outside. It's not appearing plum on my eye. Like it just looks dark, something dark. So I am putting it right here lightly, because I am afraid of getting like a big plum spot right there. I don't know why this side always comes out darker. Maybe it's the way I grab my brush, but I'm adding it to my outer crease and my outer lid. Kind of diffusing it too. It's looking gray. It's looking like dark gray. It's not looking plum. It's looking gray. Okay. Another thing is that on camera it's kind of looking patchy, but in person it's not, like, at all. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little more nutmeg to the inside right here, and blending it into Sugar Plum. Just like that. It's a very simple 2-color look right now. Just 2 shades and that's it. Now I'm gonna add buttermilk, which is that beigey matte shade, to the top right here. Remember to blend. I'm gonna do 2 things now. First, I am going to add Sugar Plum to my lower lash line. I'm not going all the way to my inner, in the inner corner of my eye. I'm kind of just doing it to like half of it, almost all of it actually, but not all the way to the inside, because I like to keep my eyes open. Let me also add it like to line, like I'm lining my my top lash line with the same shade, with Sugar Plum. Okay. The other thing that I want to do is actually grab Sugar Plum on my finger, and it's this one right here. See how it's like a plum, it's a plummy color. I am going to be adding Sugar Plum right here to the outside. I want to see if like swiping it on makes a difference in how plummy it looks, because right now I feel like you can't really tell that it's plum. Sugar Plum is definitely a satin. It's not a shimmer, it's a satin. And I think that that's the reason why it's not shining. Alright, so yeah, that's why it says that there's satins in there, because there is. Okay, so now I'm going to grab Frosting, which is the lightest shimmery shade, and I am going to add frosting to my inner eyelid, like to this area right here. Okay, so this is finished look number 2. By the way, on my lips, I am using this liquid lipstick right here. It's the NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Push Up. It's on me, it's a very neutral shade, so that's what I was going for, neutral. On to look number 3. In between looks, after I take off the makeup right there, I am using a concealer. And just because I want you to see the difference and what I'm doing to my eyes. So I am using the Kohls concealer, which is this one right here. It's the Kohls Be Bright Concealer, Illuminating Concealer. And this is the shade Medium Beige. So I am applying it with a brush. And before I did this one, when I apply my second look, I actually had only color corrector on my lids, and I think that that makes a difference in how your shadow is going to react and how it's gonna actually blend, and how it's gonna perform. So now I'm adding concealer instead, and I am going to set my concealer with the NYX HD finishing powder, and I am going to add that with a makeup brush as well. It's like this brush, I wasn't sure what the heck I was gonna use it for when I got it in my Ipsy bag, and then I realized that it's perfect for like around the eye to apply powders, because it's too small to be a face brush, I feel, and it's too big to be an eye brush, but it's perfect for adding setting powder around my eye and yeah, stuff like that. So it's soft as well, so there you go. And now it is primed for eyeshadow. I'm gonna start out with Buttermilk, and Buttermilk is, again, the beige matte shade, the lightest one in the palette. I'm putting that kind of like all over the place right now. Now I am going to grab Patina, and Patina is the shimmery shade right next to the yellow, and I am going to add that to my outer crease and my outer lid. I'm gonna add it now with my finger. Looks like this. Let me see. It looks like that. On my outer lid. And this is definitely a shimmer. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to grab Candlelight. Candlelight is the gold color. So Candlelight is like a shimmery honey mustard color. That's what it is. That's the shade. And I'm gonna add that to my lid, all the way from the inside to like 2/3 of the way to the outside, and blending it into the one next to it, which is Patina. And we do that on both sides. It doesn't have like a whole lot of pigment to it. I feel it's more like a topper. Okay, so I'm gonna grab it with my finger now. It looks like this. It's more like a satin. But once I apply it with my finger, now there's color. Okay. See? See how I said there was not much pigment to it? If you apply it with the finger, there is. And it is definitely a satiny color. I just discovered the next satin. I really wish it would have been shimmery though. All right. So let me grab more of that Patina, and I'm gonna add it to the outside, the outer lid, and blend it into Candlelight. Okay, so this is my final look. Look number 3. So I really like this palette. I feel like it's one of those palettes that if you don't own any nude palettes, this is a great addition to your palette collection, because it's going to give you all the neutrals that you need. It has warm neutrals, it has a little bit more cool tone neutrals, it has more peachy neutrals, and it also has more rosy neutrals. So I think that it's a nice balanced neutral palette for any skin tone, because you have like the lightest here and then you go to the darkest right here. So it is a really nice neutral palette, and then it has the pop of color right there, which is that honey mustard yellow called Candlelight. As you can see on my eye, it's not like it's not that vibrant yellow color. It is more like a subdued yellow. It's a very subdued yellow. So I think this palette is great for anybody, really. Someone just starting out in makeup, as well as somebody that is already very used to makeup, very used to eyeshadows, very used to bright eyeshadows, and all types of eyeshadow looks. Because as I said before in my videos, I really like to pair brights or pops of color with neutral shades to create a more toned down look without sacrificing color. Okay, so final thoughts. I love it. I love the palette. I think that it is a great palette to have in your collection if you don't have any other nude palettes. Also, it's supposed to be clean, not tested on animals, recyclable packaging. It was not patchy. It blended well. The colors were pigmented. The fallout was normal, I believe. I feel like as long as you brush the pan instead of like, you know, tapping it in there, I think that you're gonna be okay. So brush it on and then just like tap out the excess and you'll be fine. It did not fall like right here though. It didn't fall like on my face. So that's because I always tap the brush. So that's it for this video. I hope it was informative. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye.